13 News Now investigated how a staffing shortage at a North Carolina prison may have contributed to a deadly prison break attempt. Now we're learning Pasquotank CI isn't the only facility with this problem. We've uncovered the Hampton Roads Regional Jail, which came under fire and under federal investigation after inmate deaths, is critically understaffed. Now leadership at the jail is talking only to our investigative reporter Laura Geller about the challenge and a possible solution.
The Hampton Roads Regional Jail takes people facing charges from 5 cities in our area. On any given day, it houses about 1,100 inmates. We've learned the staffing shortage is so severe, there are times when a single officer is supervising 120 inmates in a housing unit. That's nearly double what national guidelines recommend. For officers at the Hampton Roads Regional Jail, a staffing shortage makes working behind bars even more challenging.
We want to make sure these inmates are safe in our facility until they can get home to their families, and we have to also look at staff safety. There's strength in numbers.
Chief of Security Captain Thurman Barnes explains he's lost officers through attrition, retirements, and resignations.
It's a very dire situation that we get more staffing here.
The shortage is especially difficult here because of one of the facility's main priorities. They need enough officers to be able to give medical services to the inmates. Hampton Roads Regional Jail holds some of the area's most sensitive inmates, ones who need acute medical care or mental health services.
It's putting patient care at risk.
Health Services Administrator April Green says this type of inmate population makes the officers' jobs even more demanding.
They have to have a higher level of vigilance to determine if someone is going into cardiac arrest, if someone is having a seizure, if someone is beginning to have self-injurious behavior.
Last year, officers had to take almost 350 inmates to the emergency room. That's one almost every single day.
And that means that that level of vigilance in the facility may be diminished because their staff is now outside of the facility.
For right now, jail leadership has developed workarounds. In April of last year, they initiated mandatory overtime. Officers are now working several more days a week and on the weekends.
The mandatory overtime was not an option for us to make sure we have a safe facility.
But it is not a long-term fix financially to regularly pay people time and a half. We've uncovered the jail pays about $70,000 a month in overtime alone.
It's more expensive to supplement with overtime.
It's also not a sustainable solution.
It does take a toll on the staff because of the fatigue factor, and it takes a toll on the morale.
To actually fix this issue, jail leaders hope the General Assembly will approve this state budget amendment to increase staffing at the facility. It will be proposed in just a few days as the session begins and lawmakers work on the budget. The addendum asks for about $2.4 million for the next fiscal year to fund about 80 additional officer and medical positions at the facility. The increase would bring HRRJ up to state standards.
If it's going to keep our facility safe, that's what we're going to have to do.
We've also obtained this letter sent to lawmakers. It's signed by the mayors of the 5 cities which send inmates to the jail, and it urges them to pass the amendment to improve the safety of the facility. We, of course, will keep you posted on the progress as the budget drops this week. Laura Geller, 13 News Now.